Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from a throwaway account and it's titled Me 45 female with my daughters 17 female and 16 female. I like one more than the other, and I'm having trouble not showing favoritism. I made this account a while ago to comment on a post, so I figured it'd be good to use a throwaway for this. So my daughters were born pretty damn close together. Their birthdays are only 10 months apart because I got pregnant pretty much immediately after having the other. Their entire lives they have always been best friends. My eldest is Sam, 17, and the year below is Izzy, 16. These girls have been absolutely inseparable since Izzy was born. They'd read each other's stories, play with their dolls, do each other's hair, held hands everywhere they went together, and they look incredibly alike too. People have mistaken them for twins when they were younger. We've always had a pretty tight-knit family. Me, husband, and the girls, and we have family film and game nights and regularly take trips together. These girls are my entire world, and I'm feeling absolutely riddled with guilt over the last 2 years because I'm really starting to dislike my youngest, Izzy. Obviously, they weren't going to stay the same forever. From the age of about 13 onwards, when they were both really starting to diverge with their personalities, I completely expected and thought I was prepared for this. I can still remember when I first started to feel like I was becoming my own person, and I know it's a confusing and emotional rollercoaster for teens. So I try to be open and understanding as possible in regards to their choices. Both girls are currently doing their A-levels in college, UK. Sam is studying biology, chemistry, mathematics, and some kind of animal welfare subject. Her goal is to go into veterinary course at uni, and she currently volunteers at our local vets helping out with the animals. She's always been a sweet girly girl, and only more feminine as she entered her teenage years. I'm also rather girly, and me and Sam regularly go get our nails and hair done together, go shopping and enjoy baking together. At the end of each day at school, she'll come home and make us both a cup of tea, and we'll chat about how our days went, boys she's interested in, her classes, drama with her friends, etc. She's by no means the popular girl at school, but has a group of about 10 close-knit friends that she hangs out with a lot, and often the girls will sleep over at my house, do each other's makeup, even join us on our movie nights. Sam is by no means shy, but hates making people upset, so will avoid confrontation like the plague. Izzy, on the other hand, has begun to get very involved in political issues and current events. She lives off the news channel and is always passionate about some cause or another. She gets along rather well with her father in this aspect, and they do like to debate about the government and upcoming policies. She means well in her arguments, but can be a bit opinionated at times. And when someone disagrees with her, instead of calling peace and agreeing to disagree, she likes to keep the discussion going until she understands why someone thinks like they do. I understand that she's curious about how the world works, and I won't squash that, but it does get a bit tedious hearing "but why" to everything we talk about. She's currently studying politics, psychology, business, and economics as her A-level subjects. She doesn't really have any friends from school and lives on websites like Tumblr, chatting to people who care about her causes. I try to involve her in mine and Sam's trips out shopping, and she declines, saying she'd rather stay at home. To try and be more inclusive, I suggested she pick some activities and would do them with her if she doesn't like the girly activities. But Izzy will again decline, saying she'd rather hang out with people who have the same mindset as her. I tried to organize something with just me and her to do instead, but I had alone time with her just like I do for Sam, but she responded with something along the lines of, "Like you'd be able to understand anything I'm involved with anyway." The most recent thing has been the Free the Nipple campaign, along with growing out her leg hair, and has been ranting at Sam for being a slave to gender stereotypes by liking dresses and boys and makeup. At our movie nights, Izzy will try and psychoanalyze the characters in all the films, even ones she's picked, and complains about the character tropes and forced romances throughout them. It's completely ruined movie nights, so last week I didn't even schedule one, so I didn't have to deal with it. I know Sam is upset by all of this because she cried to me a few times, but each time I bring it up to Izzy, She says she doesn't care and we should check our privilege. I've tried grounding. She just sat stubbornly on the floor all night. Suspending her allowance. She said money doesn't control her. Taking her phone away from her. She says we let technology control our lives anyway, and nothing seems to work. I hate it because I want to love my daughters equally, but I really don't like Izzy right now. She's being a bit self-righteous, policing everything her sister Sam wears, says and does, and calling her a slave. My husband seems to think it's just some silly teenage rebellious phase and she'll calm down soon, so he's not as upset about it as I am. He also enjoys political debates with her, so he tries to take the heat away from the discussions when me or Sam are present. One time when Izzy openly called Sam subordinate arm candy when she was going on a date, he told her she's not allowed to talk to her sister like that and she was grounded, and Izzy snapped, "Oh, now you're playing favorites too? Fuck off then," and stormed upstairs. He's been trying to talk to her calmly about her attitude and how he loves her and he understands her side of things, but can't just be this rude to everyone. But he recently got a new project at work and has been working long-ass shifts, so he's not around that often. I just don't know what to do. Is this a phase? How do you even deal with this? If anything, her behavior is making me like Sam even more for being such a good kid, and so I feel like it's a never-ending cycle. I've tried to include Izzy in so many things, and she just debates any topic possible, tells me all my choices are wrong. Sam will be off to uni in September, and then it'll just be me and Izzy at home. How the heck do I navigate this? On the back of this, little Wooly says, one of the most important debate and relationship tools to teach Izzy is, once you start name calling, you've lost your argument. Debates and jokes are fun until someone else gets hurt. Opie says that could be a good tool. Usually because she gets so passionate about these things, I end up trying to calm her down and justify her, because I think she might feel like it's me and Sam versus her opinions. The next time she insults someone, I think I'll definitely try ending the discussion on the spot and doing something different. PCSD95 says, it's great Izzy is passionate, but she needs to seriously learn some respect. She should not talk to anyone in your family the way she does. She should not be telling her father to fuck off or being extremely rude to her sister. Not to mention how dismissive she is of you. She acts like you won't understand her interests, insinuating that you are stupid. I'll take away all of her privileges. No phone, no internet, grounded, etc. until she can be more respectful. Also, please reassure Sam that it's okay that she likes being a stereotypical girl. The whole point of feminism is that a woman can be whatever she wants to be. Not that she can be whatever she wants to be with the exception of being traditionally feminine. Keep up your time with her and ride out this storm with Izzy. Hopefully this will pass when she matures little. Opie says that's what I try to do, but considering they're polar opposites right now, I don't know if they're taking me seriously or if they think I'm just saying it to make them feel better. Like I'm turning back and forth going, if you want to give up bras, Izzy, go ahead. Who needs them? It's great you feel confident enough to go out without them. Wearing bras doesn't make you anti-feminist, Sam. A lot of people find them super comfy and easier to wear. Plus, there's some super pretty ones out there, so they make a lot of women feel sexy in them. No, Izzy. I'm not saying women can't be sexy without bras. Sorry. And then says I want to tear my hair out. Someone suggests that Izzy needs to get her temper and outbursts under control. Opie says, as I've said in other comments, Izzy has joined a debate team/club one of her classmates just set up at her college. So hopefully she'll be able to find a structured way with her peers to debate. Learn it isn't always about being right, and get some of her frustration out before she returns home and takes it out on me and Sam. Others have been really helpful in sending me lists of films and TV shows that she'll probably be interested in. But I know she always loved reading, so the books could be a good idea. And for me, I think the comments got it spot on there that Izzy isn't being actually intellectual or politically engaged right now, she's just being bloody rude. There's a huge difference between being passionate about debating and calling your sister subordinate arm candy, or just turning around to your mum and saying that you wouldn't understand anything. But OP did come in with an update and said, so I know it's only been about 3 weeks since our last post. Already a lot has happened, and there's probably a lot more work to do. But I just want to thank everyone for their advice and let you know that progress has been made. It was clear from all the comments that there were a few issues I had to deal with. One was to actually involve myself more in Izzy's life and interests. and 2 was to stop letting her get away with hurting Sam so much and teach her that she can't talk down to people like she is. 3 is to ride it out as much as I can and hope that she mellows out over time, like a lot of commenters said they did as they aged. So the first thing I did was make a list of all films and TV shows recommended by people here to look into, to try and find some things I can watch with Izzy to make her feel included. It was a long list, and I think we got some really good options that would appeal to the whole family. The first thing I tried out is Steven Universe, as just about everyone on here suggested it for me. Izzy actually walked in on me watching it about 5 episodes in. So much for one taster episode to see if it was any good, and sort of paused in the doorway and asked, "You actually like Steven Universe?" I said one of my co-workers had recommended it as a cute show to watch and I actually kinda love it. Oh, I wish I could have taken a picture of the smile on her face. She immediately jumped on the sofa and started quizzing me on how far along I am, who my favorites are, if I like this show, then I'll love X, and started listing off other shows, a lot of which were on my list to try out. I told her we could try them all out. I already have a few, and reinstated film night, but under a new condition, to make sure we don't run into any issues again. I purchased some dry whiteboards and pens and proposed the following idea. During all films and TV shows, there is to be silence, as I would like to watch something without it being talked over. However, we write down questions and topics we want to talk about on the boards throughout the film. At the end of it, we designate a discussion time to talk all about it. Izzy agreed to it and said that was probably fair, so that was one win. We've had 2 film nights since then. The first one we watched was Legally Blonde and she was constantly scribbling on the board. The discussion after went pretty well, I feel. Izzy did most of the talking about how empowering Elle Woods is, but I tried to engage her so she didn't feel like I was just glazed over and ignoring it. Sam has at this point finished her exams and took up her volunteer work pretty much full time, so it was just me and Izzy doing this, which I thought gave some nice quality time. I tried to find some activities for us to do together that aren't hairs/nails, and thought she might enjoy a hike as we live pretty close to a national park here, so I suggested that one day. I was turned down, but that's fine. I'm not expecting an immediate turnover. I just keep suggesting things every few days to let her know I want to do things with her. We've been watching Orange is the New Black since that came out, along with Steven Universe and Sense8 now, so I still feel like we're making progress. Since Sam took up the extra work, she's not really in the house much anymore, so her and Izzy have clashed a lot less naturally. I still took down some of the comments you guys suggested, like how by shaming Sam for what she's wearing, is doing the opposite of feminism. But Sam actually beat me to it. So far, only one has been made when Sam wear a small playsuit out one day, as it's been getting pretty warm here. Izzy said something like, "Wow, I didn't think it was possible to wear any less clothing than you normally do. Who's this for then?" But before I could even say anything, Sam went, "Me, because I look damn good in it. Maybe you should try one. It's pretty empowering looking this good," and skipped out the door. I was stood in shock for a second, as Sam has never returned fire before, and Iz kinda did the same for a second before storming off upstairs. She hasn't made another comment since then. This was shortly after my first post, and I'm not sure if it's because they don't see each other often or Iz was genuinely shut up by one comment from Sam. So I'm in limbo waiting for that one to come around. While taking Sam out for uni supplies one day, I asked her how she feels about Izzy's behaviour because I really don't want her to be negatively impacted by all this. She said that she gets a little upset when Iz makes the comments, but she knows that she thinks she's coming from a good place and doesn't take it to heart. She also said that Izzy would probably chill out after a few years, and when she goes off to uni she'll be away from it anyway. So she's riding out the storm until September. Me and Sam aside, the new debate group I mentioned in the comments Izzy just joined has now become a big thing for her, which I also think has been mellowing her out a bit. She's been going to sessions quite regularly. I asked if they had audiences and if I could come sometime, and she said, maybe in the future. It's new right now, so it's really just class debating. She also became really close really fast with another girl in the group. We call her Anna. Apparently they take the same subjects but are in opposite classes, so they never met before this debate group. Either Anna is at our house or Izzy is at hers every day for the last 2 weeks, so I'm glad she's made a close friend she can talk to. She's barely been on her laptop since, so there's a lot less of the internet/Tumblr refueling her behaviour. Since Anna came along, Izzy has been significantly less argumentative and rude. She's been skipping around the house in an almost dreamlike state, and it's making my heart melt to see her this happy. I suspect Anna might be slightly more than just a new friend, but I'm not going to push anything. Izzy can talk to me whenever she wants to. As for her dad, his project at work is wrapping up, so there's now less late nights and they're back to political chit-chat over breakfast and seem as close as ever. So overall, I think things are improving. I'd like to thank everyone that took the time to comment. I read through every single one. I will continue bringing up activities and shows that you've suggested over time. I have a list saved of them all on my computer to keep asking her about. Eventually, maybe Izzy will let me take her out on a hike or go see a play together. I just have to keep trying. I'll also punish her where appropriate if she calls out me or Sam for what we wear or our hobbies, because it's not okay to be rude. It's a weird line to walk right now of curbing rude comments while also suddenly making more of an effort to take part in her interests. But I think I'm giving it a good go. And there was just many people relating themselves to teenage Izzy in this one. But how about you guys? What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from a throwaway account. It was just before Christmas time and it said, "My boyfriend won't try on his Christmas present." It starts, not gonna lie, I'm pretty fucking angry, and I'm basically only here for a whinge and a moan. If a mellowed out soul wants to give me some advice, that might be helpful though, because I currently want nothing more than to punt the bastard off a cliff. I'm 27 and he's 33. Together 4 years. We have artsy hobbies and we usually like to make each other a handmade gift for Christmas. We usually enjoy it, but honestly, this last year he is constantly at my house, leaving his ball hair under my toilet seat, whinging about Boris Johnson and doing my Swede in. I saw an advert for Dogs Trust about how Milo the Doberman is going to spend Christmas alone this year, and I'm jealous of the fucker. Anyway, I sew as a hobby. For Christmas, I thought it would be nice to make my boyfriend a blazer. He asked for one for his birthday, but I couldn't get fabric for his birthday this year. I've made blazers before, but the materials I bought this time were not cheap. So to make sure I knew what I was doing, I got some leftover fabric from my last project and made a mock-up / prototype to make sure it was right. For the last 3 days, I've been sewing in about 80 different tiny little invisible pockets and invisible seams and buttonholes. But now I've got a pretty decent mock-up of what I want the real blazer to look like. I just wanted to check if it fits him properly, so I asked him to take 10 minutes to try it on so I could make sure. I don't know what his problem is, but he decided that instead of trying it on so I can check if it fits like I asked, he would start a row with me. A row because the fabric I made the trial blazer out of has flowers on it, and was at some point in the week pinned to my mannequin, who is a woman. He won't put it on. He's telling me he won't put it on even though he knows I'm the only one who's gonna see it. I wish I was joking. Actually, no I don't, because the girls and I are all having a right giggle about it. I don't know what he wants, but if he thinks that after I spent £200 on materials to make this fucking blazer, I'm going to trot my ass down to the craft shop to spend another tenner on a roll of fabric because he wants a mock-up that doesn't have flowers on it, he can get on his bike and ride it to Timbuktu. I mean it. He's been playing up like a fucking imbecile for weeks now. I'm sick of his bullshit. I'm not going to coddle him and pretend that what he's asking for is reasonable. I've talked to my therapist about this, and he talked about reasonable ways to resolve this conflict. Currently I've come up with 1. Shag his dad, and then go on the Jeremy Kyle show to tell him. 2. Make him sleep in the car and then have the car towed off the pier. 3. Give him a card and Snickers bar for Christmas, wait for him to complain, chuck his clothes out the upstairs window while the neighbours watch. I'm open to more suggestions if you can think of anything better. As soon as I read that first paragraph, I knew that was a Brit. Maggie Louisa says, "I'm laughing my ass off at your possible solutions. They all sound reasonable to me. All I can think of is to shelve the whole thing for now and ask him calmly, possibly after preemptive self-medication to enable calm, if he wants a blazer or not. If he does, he tries this one on. If not, he owes you an apology for wasting your time. What does he think will happen if he tries on a flowered mock-up? His dick will fall off? You sew, you can fix that." Opie says, Appreciated, the therapist didn't agree. Though I can fix that. I think no penis suits him better. Maggie replies saying you should finish up the flower blazer without a fitting and give it to him for Christmas too. Maybe add some lace and bows. Opie says I do like that idea. Tell him I knew it was inappropriate to ask him to wear something like that without a matching clutch bag. Twirling Pink says don't do this. Don't lean into the toxic masculinity. It's not girly to like flowers and he doesn't have a vagina just because he's being an arsehole. Opie says absence of a penis does not a vagina make, my friend. However, you're right. Just because he's being a dildo, I shouldn't play up to it. But I'm mad, so I'm going to shred his masculinity in the anonymous comments. Squirrelfoot says his masculinity certainly sounds very fragile. A quarter past Nope says knitters have this boyfriend sweater curse. Apart from the fact that your boyfriend exhibits some ridiculously fragile masculinity here. That curse says that after you knit an especially nice and work-intensive sweater for your, in this scenario, boyfriend, the relationship falls apart. I saw a TikTok, yes, about it, that made a good point. It's not the sweater, it's investing so much love and time and labor and then feeling the resentment when you see it on the person that doesn't value any of that from you. And would never invest that much for you, and you know it. In a good relationship, you just made your spouse a sweater. In a bad relationship, it brings out what is wrong. For example, an investment disbalances or a fragile ego or whatever. Maybe you found the sewing equivalent, the blazer curse, and the sewing magic is trying to tell you something. Opie says this makes so much sense. Miss Raspberry says, damn, that masculinity sure is fragile. Opie says, he makes me get the spiders too. Chat Spider says, somehow I knew that based on your description. Fabulous Title says, this is insane. I'd understand if he didn't want to wear something floral out, but it's a mock-up of the real one. He's crazy. My suggestion is to donate the blazer to someone who needs it and would appreciate it and get your boyfriend nothing for Christmas. Opie says, the ironic thing is he's the biggest pussy I know. Angel Cake says it sounds like you want to break up with him. Why don't you? Opie says, honestly, I'm going to. Today really set me off, but it's not the first time he's behaved in a way that's completely infantile for no reason. I can't be with someone like that. Someone says, what language is this? Seems like English, but has expressions like doing my Swede in. What did I just read? Opie says, this is real Manchester English, my guy. And Opie did update this the same day, just saying his stuff is packed and by the door. It's up to him when to come and get it. He knew I was a cold bitch when he got with me. I didn't know he was a man-child until I had to lock myself in a house with him. I think I deserve some slack. And if anyone else was confused by the doing my Swede in, it basically means doing my head in, annoying, etc. But what do you guys make of this situation? Ended pretty abruptly there, didn't it? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.